leaving off where I, picking up where I left off. So it took me 2 weeks to build up the confidence to ask this guy out, ask A out, and I was so excited. It was right before um, Thanksgiving break, so that way, if he said no, I wouldn't have to see him for a week. Smart, I know, I'm so smart. So um, I went up to him after our Monday class, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, how are you? How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good." I wanted to ask you something, and when I said this, I was hoping that he would like pick up, so like he would already like turn me down if he wasn't interested. So like if someone says I want to ask you a question, you kind of like figure like what is it like maybe not super, but like if I want to ask you something, I feel like there's like a hint that it might be something like asking you out, so they could like anyway, so we could shut it down before I even got to the question. That was my goal. Didn't happen that way. I was like, oh, what? I was like, oh, I was wondering if you'd want to go out sometime. And he was like, I was like, because I was super confident and like and super determined to be like a date. I was like a date. And he was like, oh, um, I'm just not looking for that right now. I remember the exact words. He was like, oh, I'm not looking for, um, I don't have time for that, or I'm not looking for that relationship, or I'm not looking for um, that right now. And so I was like, yeah, totally cool. And he was like, sorry. And I'm like, no, totally, I'm good. It's Jill. See ya. Probably really awkward. When I left, I'm like, cool. And I walked away. I was like, I was actually really proud of myself, even though I totally said no. So it was like, it's chill. Um, I was like, I asked someone out on a date. Like, this is my first guy I've ever asked out. I was like, I was really proud of myself. Um, and and I remember looking around the corner, and he went to sit with his friends, and they were kind of like giggling and laughing. I'm like, oh, it's probably about me, and like, and didn't take it personally. I was like, oh, that's fine. It's chill. It's whatever. Um, and I remember, even though I got turned down, my friend who was really great and really encouraging at this time to like tell me to ask him out. I texted her. I was like, I did it. I was so excited. And then we talked that night. We went out to get food. She was I was driving, and I was telling her about the whole situation. And she was like, "Oh, you should have said like friends." And I was like, instead of like a date. And I was like, "Yeah, I know." But I know it's like at that point I was still like, "Yeah," but I was really determined to be like on a date, and it was like I was still like in that mindset. Um, uh, I was like, even though she was like, you should have been like friends, and I was like, yeah, yeah. But I was at that point, I was really happy with the decision I made. But later, thinking back, it's been 3 years since that situation, um, and I'm kind of like regretting it now. I might talk about that later. But so when he said he's not interested, getting back to that, like he said, I'm like, oh, I'm not looking for that. Literally like 2 weeks later, I saw him on like all five of the dating apps I was trying because I'm so desperate that I was trying like literally every single dating app that was out there. Um, and I saw him on like every single one. Obviously, we didn't match. Should have taken a hint, right? I didn't. Might talk about that later, but I'm still really embarrassed about what that might lead to. Anyway, um, so um, anyway, so he obviously just wasn't interested, and I found that out like super soon after he turned me down because he said he wasn't interested. But he was obviously interested because he's going on freaking 5 different dating apps. He was. I'm not angry. I'm fine. It's been 3 years. I'm still so chill. It just hurt. I think in that moment it hurt. Um, Maybe I'm reliving a little bit of that, but like I'm super chill about it now. It's whatevs. um, but that was kind of like my first experience of like asking a guy out. It wasn't great, but it was an experience, and yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for watching.